Wow.
Jimmy Wild.
Anywhere but here. Well, I wonder if the wear was somewhere cold because it's pretty hot here in Atlanta.
Well, he's got his patented fur coat on. Of course, not making any friends here tonight in the Nightmare Factory is Jimmy Wild. No relation to Edward, by the way.
None at all.
But, yeah, we've seen a lot of Jimmy Wild over the last year or so here around the Nightmare Factory and around the independent scene here in Georgia. But he's going to have his hands full with newcomer.
And his opponent, weighing in at 170 pounds, from San Clemente, California, Jahir Hernandez.
Jahir Hernandez, representing the great nation of Mexico, where his family was, and you saw that 7 on the back of his jersey, representing the 7 members of his family.
And how about this, Jimmy Wild trying to get Jahir to just lay down for him here, but we know that's not going to happen. Of course, Jahir, a former auto tech, former mechanic, decided to make his way into professional wrestling and made his way out here, trying to get out of his comfort zone all the way from San Clemente, California to here in Georgia, the Nightmare Factory, and now a collar and elbow tie-up.
You know, it's amazing to me. It's amazing what people are willing to do to get out of their comfort zone. Some cut their hair. Some decide, you know, they're going to do some sort of a career change. And in this case, here it is. Hernandez decided to move all the way across the country, leave the mechanics and the oil and the tools behind, and jump into pro wrestling.
And he's only been in the business for 12 weeks, but look how quickly he's moving, and look at Jimmy Wild, he's stunned.
I'll tell you, for some people, it feels like drinking water. It feels supernatural, and Hernandez looks like a literal natural here in this business.
Some of his pro wrestler influences that he's looked up to over the years, Rey Mysterio, Mystico, Hayabusa, and you can see it with the quickness and the moveset that he's putting on display here in this matchup.
For sure. It's so interesting when you see how some of these young wrestlers were influenced. It certainly is reflected in their style. And the wide variety there that you have, from Rey Mysterio to Hayabusa. I mean, you're talking about some very serious moments and some high-flying maneuvers with them as well.
Jimmy Wild there with the height advantage.
Look at
Rolls
this.
through. Sweeps the leg, pin attempt here, but just a 1 count on Jahir Hernandez. Hernandez now with a pin attempt, another 1 count.
This is a very fast-paced match already, which, again, you would not expect for someone who's only been in the business 12 weeks.
Yeah, I think we're all surprised here. There's a Cazador looking for an arm drag, and he takes Jimmy Wild down. I'm so surprised with the showing we're getting here from Jahir Hernandez.
This is amazing. Heavy lucha libre influence, as you can imagine. Family there from Mexico. He said their family are immigrants, and he's really here in this business to give them a better life. And there's something about when you're fighting hungry that changes the way you perform.
How about that? Head scissors takeover sends Jimmy Wild across the ring. You talk about the family. You talk about the 7 on his jersey, his 7 family members. He was actually surprised this week with his uncle and cousins decided to make the trip out here just for this show in person. They're here in the crowd tonight.
I love to see that, and that's the
Heads
beauty.
up.
Oh, wow. Beautiful flying body press.
Pin attempt here, hook of the outside leg, 2 count.
I'll tell you something. You know, we've said it before, and I said it at the top of this show, that you are likely going to see the future stars of tomorrow here tonight. And that's, you're kidding me.
Heads up, looking for a picture-perfect moonsault, but nobody home. Jimmy Wild saw it coming, and there's a shotgun drop kick from Wild.
Certainly that was shades of Mystico and Hayabusa, no doubt about that. But I'll tell you, performing a moonsault like that 12 weeks in, yeah, he's clearly in the advanced portion of the class.
Absolutely. There's a straight right hand from Jimmy Wild, trying to slow down the pace of this matchup as Jahir Hernandez just so quick in there.
Yeah, you're right. Wild needs to slow this pace.
And there's the Jimmy Wild chant that the crowd loves to get under the skin here of Jimmy Wild.
And Wild certainly knows how to slow the pace of this thing down. And if he can do that, he could perhaps score a win here tonight.
Ooh. Another big right hand from Jimmy Wild. Jimmy Wild, of course, getting frustrated here with that spinning neck breaker on Hernandez.
You know, and this is where, again, you start to see a bit more of a veteran instinct to be able to weather the storm. Hernandez came out fast and furious, great moves, great opportunities, great strategy. But again, weathering the storm is Wild, and Wild is in control as we speak.
Big stomp right to the gut right there from Jimmy Wild. Jimmy
Wow.
Wild. Sorry. The crowd's gotten in my head here.
Look at that.
There's a slingshot senton. Don't let him hear that.
I'm going to say he's going to play this back, and he's going to have a thing or two to say to you,
I'm in
sir.
trouble. Pin attempt, hook of the outside leg. And Jimmy Wild unable to get the 3 count there.
You can't stay out of trouble, can you?
Oh, boy.
My goodness.
Sorry, the crowd, they've been so loud tonight, they got in my head here.
They got to you.
As Hernandez escapes off the back, Wild misses with a kick and another springboard crossbody, but a roll through from Jimmy Wild. Jimmy Wild now showing off that strength, and now a rib breaker right across the knee to Hernandez.
Well, that kind of move shows that Wild is anything but mild. He is very, very wise in his choosing. But again, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing here from Jahir Hernandez.
Jimmy Wild just laying in those right hands in the corner.
You know, Wild doesn't really care about the inspirational story, doesn't care about, what Hernandez's family had to go through. Wild wants this win. He knows the world is watching on YouTube right now, and he does not want to get embarrassed by the great feel-good story and being counted down to 3.
And, I don't know what Jimmy Wild had in mind there, but it looked like the legs may have just given out there on Hernandez as so much has been taken out of him in this matchup.
Well, think about the things that Hernandez has done. He's pulled off a lot of moves in this one match, and I don't know if his body was ready for all of those moves, plus, again, the adrenaline of this live crowd.
That's the thing. People have to remember they're watching at home. They're watching us live on YouTube right now. A lot of these competitors here tonight have only been in the business for 12 weeks. It's unbelievable to see what some of these guys can do.
Not just that, but many of them have never been in front of a loud crowd before. So, think about this. You and I, we talked before the show about how as much as we've done this, we still get nervous.
Absolutely.
How much more nervous does this young man need to be with his first time in front of a live crowd and thousands watching on YouTube right now?
And not only that, but he got surprised by some family members making the trip across the country just to see him live in person here tonight.
Yeah, the pressure is really, really strong, and you can. Oh, wow.
Man, oh, man, what a neck breaker there.
And this could do it right here. Jimmy Wild.
Whoa, wait a second.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're seeing the heart right now of Hernandez.
Ooh, man. Jimmy Wild's, you can see he's getting more and more frustrated here. The more Hernandez is able to kick out after so much punishment.
Because I'm sure Jimmy Wild somewhere thought that this would have been enough to put this first-time competitor down, but it's not been enough to do that at all.
Hernandez slowly back up to his feet here as Jimmy Wild now talking trash to the crowd here. And I think he might be actually talking to Hernandez's family who traveled across the country to watch this in person. Oh, a snap suplex to Hernandez.
You gotta
be.
Wow.
You gotta have some sort of, to be able to do this.
This is moxie for sure for Jimmy Wild to do this, knowing how influential Eddie Guerrero is to Hernandez.
Inside cradle.
Look
Cradle.
At that. Whoa.
And Hernandez almost stole the victory there with that inside cradle, but just a 2 count. Oh, both men with the same idea, going for cross bodies, and both men hit hard.
And now we're going to see what both of these men have in them. Hernandez has had a lot taken out of him. He just really took a lot of punishment there from Jimmy Wild. And now we're going to see how Hernandez operates as we get late into these deep waters.
Absolutely. He stepped on the gas in the early goings of this matchup, and you got to wonder how much of that gas does he have left in the tank right now.
Great point. The question is, did he pace himself properly? And we're going to find that out because he's going to have to pull out for something if he's going to want this victory here tonight.
Both men now back to their feet about the same time. And a huge lariat there from Hernandez. And another one.
And you can see Hernandez is worn out, but whoa, wait a minute.
Handspring into the ropes.
Wow.
How about that kick right to the face of Jimmy Wild?
Another move that shades of Hayabusa there. And again, this move set that this young man has only at 12 weeks is something that most at 12 years don't have.
You saw Hernandez pointing to his family out there in the second row, and now Jimmy Wild up on his shoulders, fireman's carry position, but Wild able to escape. Into the corner he goes, and he gets the boot up just in time right to the teeth of Hernandez.
And look at this. Oh, wow.
And there it is, the wild ride from Jimmy Wild. Will it be enough?
And the ride is over. Oh,
no. Wait a second. Are you kidding me?
I thought the ride was over there for Hernandez.
We have seen Jimmy Wild put away plenty of competitors with that very move, but Hernandez, in his very first matchup, still somehow able to kick out.
Somehow indeed. And meanwhile, Hernandez rolls through.
There's a shot right to the teeth with that thrust kick from Hernandez.
I'm so impressed with what Jahir Hernandez is presenting to us here tonight. And he's not done living in the high rent district. Hernandez.
He's going all the way up, GB.
Will this pay off?
There's the moonsault, and he nailed it.
Picture perfect moonsault.
Right on target. 3 count. That does it.
Here is your winner, Jahir Hernandez.
And of course, Hernandez dedicating this matchup, his debut matchup, to his late grandmother who just passed away recently. And what a moment for Hernandez.
What a beautiful family moment. I'm sure his abuela is excited and is looking down, smiling at the success and the continued legacy of the Hernandez family. Shout out to Jahir, and this guy's got a bright, bright future ahead of him.
Man, oh man, what a night it's been so far at the Nightmare Factory for Camp 18. And fans, don't go far because guess what, GB?